It's Friday. Welcome to the show. I am Murayo Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the ladies. Hi, Tokwe, how are you?
Good morning. I'm good. Grateful to God for journey mercies. I was talking to a client and I was like, I said, do you have armed escorts? I'm like, you know, all these people in diaspora, the assumption is that these are, you can't move from one point to another. And my response was, it's not that bad. Actually, armed escorts would announce you as a VIP and make you more of a target. That yesterday I came back from Ibadan and it was a pretty smooth trip, and I thank God for journey mercies on this my going and coming, and I'm really, really grateful to God. It doesn't feel like anything anymore, but before in the beginning it was like, I'm going to travel. And I think the roads have also improved. I must commend the fact that the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, there are some bottlenecks, but because of the large part of improvement on the road, we can see ease of traffic only on those tough ends. And around Ibafo and Mowe side, where they have pedestrian bridges, please use the pedestrian bridges because it complicates the activities when people are trying to
Talking about those living abroad, security, the U.S. Embassy in Abuja had sent a message to Nigeria, American citizens in Nigeria, giving them the security alerts. And let me see how they described us. They said crime is endemic throughout Nigeria, ranging from petty street crime to carjacking, and crime levels tend to increase during the holidays. It is prudent to exercise particular caution during the holidays season. So they're telling their citizens that crime don't increase for Nigeria. So, just like you said, people abroad really think that everything
that is really
it's bad, but it is. It is bad. Let's not, because people are, and I know somebody who has been robbed 3 times within a month.
Which is why we
same person in that Badore axis. They were saying there was cult issues. They were fighting 3 times.
That's why Nigerians are very, very grateful. That's why the first thing I'll say is I'm grateful to God.
That's what I like.
A friend of my husband died yesterday too. As in, like, there's been a whole lot of. You know, we just need to be grateful. You know, there are many people that have it different, that have it worse. And so wherever you stand, there's someone on the side who's crying. So be thankful for where you stand.
How are you doing, BC?
I'm doing amazing. I've been very busy. I'm still going to be busy. My schedule today is God will help me. I'm going to be hosting a recirculators meeting. In February I went to Botswana on expense paid. It was actually organized by the Lancaster University in the UK. So I'm hosting the event tonight. We're going to be talking about building career opportunities for young people, especially in agriculture. And I've been made the host. So I have a large platform
in agriculture.
Everything all together about agriculture. I'm hosting. So I'm going to be interacting with a lot of professionals from across Africa and the UK. So I need to finish, go home, and prepare. Like, my heart is pumping. Yeah, I know. And aside from that, a customer, Mrs. Elizabeth Fatiroti, it's her birthday today. Happy birthday, Mrs. Elizabeth. She's one of my very first customers supporting my business. I love you, Ma. More grace, more love, more life.
Please keep talking. Let me see if I can find somebody. I'm sure somebody would have sent me something. I didn't check. I'm sorry.
I'm wearing House of BC, by the way. This is my first House of BC, and I love it. When I wear my husband was like, did they measure you? I said, no, it's ready to wear. It means that you just tell them your size, which, by the way, was shocking that I'm now fully
You are 16 now, darling.
Please, don't you announce it that everybody now knows I'm
You're bigger than me now, darling.
As it's not
almost bigger than Mariah.
I wore it and it was perfect.
I find the birthday greetings. I don't know. Father have mercy on me.
Thank you for supporting my business. Thank you so much.
Anyway, if it's your birthday today, happy
birthday to you.
I'm just terrible.
Someone on Twitter actually sent, today's her birthday, and I'll probably read your tweets later during the show today, because she mentioned yesterday that today's her birthday, which is wish her happy birthday.
Today's the 17th. So if you're December 17th,
happy birthday. A friend of mine too. Today's her birthday. She's a life coach, Natalie, who's saying happy birthday, Natalie.
Nice. Okay, so yesterday was a great. Did you guys watch the show yesterday?
I heard you people fought on
it. We didn't fight, so don't mind them.
I heard you people fought on it.
We had an interesting show yesterday, so today is going to be a continuation.
Okay.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Okay, we're going to start with the nation as usual. 333 Kankara pupils regained freedom from abductors. Border reopening critical to recession exits, says Nasima. APC, Northwest governor behind attacks by bandits. ASU to blame for prolonging strike, says governor. The South says government. Alleged 13.7 billion naira fraud. Ex-army chief battles to stop trial. And row grows over order to link SIM cards to NIN. Okay, we'll take the Kankara boys data because all over the papers anyway.
Yeah.
But let's start with
the
border closure.
Yes, so the National President, Nigerian Association of Chamber of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture, NASIMA, has said that the border opening is more of, it's a welcome development, the most welcome development at the moment, that this is going to help us get out of recession in the early 2021. That's next year. And another thing is he also mentioned that it's also going to help us, we signed an agreement, the free trade agreement with other African countries. So this is more like saying that we are ready for this. But he's also saying that we understand that there are some bans on some products coming into the country. The bans still hold, and they are employing the custom officers to ensure that they follow through and make sure that those things that would be banned coming into Nigeria will not come in with the border opening. So it's just legitimate businesses, people who are able to import and export, that can have that free.
Okay, one more story. Northwest governor, according to the APC acting Deputy National Publicity Secretary, Yekini Nabena, he was saying that no, he didn't say that. He said a Northwest governor has been behind the heightened cases of insecurity in the north. And they've been sponsoring abductions and banditry and other violent crimes within that region. He didn't mention the governor, he just mentioned that a governor in the northwest.
So what does he want us to do with that information when he didn't give us the name?
He didn't give us the name. He was just trying to
Did he send the name to the DSS? Did he report? Did he do anything? So why are you telling us when we can't do anything with that information? Because everything is alleged.
There are two PDP governors and the others, I think there are 5 or so. APC or 7 APC governors. So we'll see. Moving on now to Daily Sun. At last, Kankara schoolboys freed. Army, DSS, police seal Ebonyi market over alleged illegal ammunition. COVID-19, Kaduna governor threatens lockdown as 47 die. 2,100 infected in 3 weeks. Alleged forgery appeal court refuses to stop Obaseki's trial. 2023 leadership Nigeria needs, says Obasanjo. And judges flee as 500 women storm court over slain housewife in Anambra. Which story are we taking?
The Ebonyi market that was condoned off. Yes. So that's Abakaliki Building Material Market. They got an intelligence report that some traders are stockpiling ammunitions in that market. So they got there, they were able to get it, the condone of the area, that marketers, traders were able to take alternative routes to get into that marketplace. But the source said that investigations are still ongoing, so we don't have the full details of.
But they found the ammunition there.
They found the ammunition.
Can we take the main story, like
yes,
the boys
ahead,
are back?
Yes.
So, honestly,
congratulations.
I rejoice with the family. I rejoice with the family of the children. Thankfully, the kids got released yesterday. It happened to be our president's birthday. But what the news had online, I was trying to find out how did they, because we saw videos and pictures of them being in a truck. Yeah. And I know that they said they left with bikes. So I was trying to see if any of the newspaper carry stories of how they came out. All we just know is they've been released. They were taken by Boko Haram, as opposed to the first news that came out that no, it was by bandits. It was confirmed by Boko Haram. They said the first video that the Boko Haram released was with the demands why they took these boys was because, reiterating, 1, they are against Western education. 2, they want. They said that they wanted our religion to rise and disbelief will fall. So that was it's an ideological war.
I suspect foul play because that same Thursday, they will release a video that the boys, we saw a video of the boys saying they should come and free them, right? We saw the video. And that same day, they got released. So what exactly, are we very conflicting videos, or is somebody trying to politicize
because
the situation?
The boy was saying that the condition for their release was that they should disband the local vigilantes and they should stop monitoring them.
It seems as if there was a double...
There was a compromise somewhere.
Something is wrong. There's something not just adding up.
Somewhere.
But I guess the news will come up. But there's a story that caught my attention. That actually almost made me cry. 500 women, in fact, I have to take the story properly. Let me get the details. 500 women in Aguta local government area of Anambra State stormed the court to hear the suit instituted against a man from Uga community who allegedly killed his pregnant wife. These 500 women wore black. And they were saying that it's an abomination to kill a pregnant woman. And they wanted to be in court while that case was being heard. So, but unfortunately, they went there in support of one of their own that was killed. But unfortunately, the clerks called the judges like, they've come home, please don't come, don't show up. So they've adjourned the cases. But the women said that they don't care how long they are adjourning, that as long as that case is being heard,
we're going to get justice.
They're going to ensure that justice is served. So, when women just decide, when women arise for something, you just see it. For me, it was an emotional scene, and I thought it was important to mention that. Moving on now to Vanguard. Katsina abduction, 344 students freed, state government says. Ondo tops Lassa fever cases in Nigeria. CBN presses on diaspora remittances. COVID-19, FG malls another lockdown, says Nigeria at risk. Senate passes 2021-2023 MTEF and FSP. Apapa Gridlock, Council opts for demurrage waivers. I wanted to read that story. And State of the Nation, Nigeria needs good leadership to tackle insecurity. Obasanjo. Which story are we taking in Vanguard?
Please, Lassa fever, because everybody is talking about COVID. And the Commissioner for Health, Dr. Jibayo Adeyeye, said that while COVID seemed to have been taking the shine, Lassa fever has confirmed killed 80 people, 41 people in Ondo State from January till now, and that Lassa fever is preventable. That they already have distributed free rodent killers, because the real issue is that is to eradicate rodents, and they said that doing what they can to distribute rodent killers is being with them for a long time, and it gets worse during dry season. That rodent killers being distributed must not be sold because it must be free and it should be used. This is a really major health challenge for them. That's what Ondo State's Commissioner is crying out. So they need more help to help them deal with the situation.
Right, so Chairman of the Presidential Task Force has said that they are going to likely review their decision to reopen the economy because of we are likely facing a second phase of COVID-19, and we've had over 7,000 people that has gotten the COVID-19 right now. They are saying also that we need to pay attention because very soon our hospitals will be overwhelmed. We also have a problem of our health facilities which are not adequate. We're going to be looking for the PPEs right now, and so if they are going to review and come up with a solution to see if we're going to lock down again or still leave the economy like that.
I'd like to link that to the Kaduna State. They say that 47 people have died within a few weeks, 2,100 of COVID. So there's fear, and obviously they might have to close down the school, as we heard earlier, and obviously they might likely have another lockdown across the country. That's going to hurt our economy, hurt the educational system, and a lot of kids have already lost a lot of ground last year. And it's unfortunate, but pretty much we need to continue to use our face masks going on so that we can curtail the spread
of the disease. Please don't take the Apapa story. So Apapa Gridlock crisis, Shippers Council, the Nigerian Shippers Council Executive Secretary, Mr. Hassan Bello, said that it's been a tough year. The couple of years has been very, very tough on shippers, that the cost of shipping in has increased because they have to pay demurrage, which is likely due to the bad roads, that very many importers and exporters are unable to meet the time frame of service due to the bad roads. And so what they want to push for now is there should be waivers on demurrage so as to provide relief. So they say they are going to be asking that no importer in the past few years has met any requirements to avoid demurrage, and that's not their fault. So they want to ask that the condition of roads, while the condition of road is still in a standstill, let there be a waiver on demurrage for shippers, importers, and exporters.
Okay, let's take the Nigerian Tribune. Last best graduate student gets Sanwo-Olu's 5 million cash prize. 344 abducted Katsina schoolboys released. We talked about that. States move to contain spread. Already closed schools, event centers. Let's see. Dapo Ojora, Saraki Adefarasi, and others pay tribute at service of songs. I don't know my husband's whereabouts since his arrest 7 years ago. Woman tells panel. And banditry, Northwest governor is mastermind of APC, of the insecurity, APC alleges. Okay, which story are we taking?
Lagos State Governor, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, has made a personal donation of 5 million naira each to students, 2 best overall students of the Lassa. Yes, I have their names. Please. So the first one is a Shotunde. I'm trying. Oladimeji Shotunde and Olabanjo Olushola. One of them had a 4.9, yes, CGPA and 5 points GPA for the second person. So he's also promised that they can, extend their education for their masters outside the country, and it's on scholarship. So this is good news for, let's promote education. It's not just people who come out from one house and just
so one was a bachelor's degree, the other actually is a master's student. So he will get the 5 million naira. But the one who was a graduating student, he then gets a scholarship to any university
in the world.
I mean, this young man, please go to Harvard.
Congratulations.
Apply to you. Do something, because this is something that is good. And his family, did you hear? I mean, you should hear the speech of the governor. He comes from a really poor parents, humble background, and the fact that he's able to get this is something that would change his entire destiny for life.
So I want to take the story of the missing woman, the missing husband. So the woman addressing the National Human Rights Commission Independent Investigation Panel on the defunct SARS mentioned that since December 13, 2013, she hasn't seen her husband. Her husband was arrested by the Akuzu office of SARS in Anambra State, and that she has gone from police station to police station. She hasn't seen her husband dead or alive. There's no account, and she's appealing to the panel that they should confirm the location of her husband as part of the proceedings of dealing with the NSAS protest. So my heart goes out to her and her family, because really this is...
Okay, we have to wrap up, but there's an important story in Guardian. Why Nigeria others may wait till 2024 to access COVID-19 vaccine. We have that story?
Yes, I have the story. So researchers at the Duke University have said that they are not producing enough COVID-19 vaccines. And so countries that are high income or high economy, have high economic standard, are going to first of all get the COVID-19 vaccines. There's a word they use for it.
Let me mention it here. They grouped us, Nigeria, our Odindi Nigeria. They grouped us. They said we are leaving the low and lower middle income countries like Nigeria. Countries, United Kingdom, the United States, Canada, France, Japan, Qatar, South Korea, Sweden. They are the ones that are going to be getting the vaccine, because the cost of it actually is about 14.1 trillion naira. Unless we find our own vaccine.
Yeah, we can't afford that. So we'll be looking at getting it in 2024, if it's ever going to come here. First of all, I do not want the vaccines. Honestly, I don't want the vaccines.
Don't start
No, it's not about Dinomilaye. It's just what I feel that we don't need it right now. The countries who have more deaths should use the vaccines first, so that we don't stand the risk of them using us as guinea pigs. We don't want it for now.
Sounds like Dinomilaye, but it's all good. Okay, well, we have to wrap up now, but I will hold on to what my own minister said. Said that by January, which I don't know where he's going to find it from, but said January, we will get the vaccines. By Nigeria, will get it. So let these people leave their matter. I'll listen to my Minister of Health. Okay, that's all we can take on Front Page Review. When we come back, we move on to other hot, interesting topics. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So last week we started the conversation on why responsible and hardworking ladies, some of them have not been able to find that significant other. On the show today, we'll be looking at another angle. How can you be a productive, efficient, and successful housewife? Can one be a housewife and still be very financially successful? How can housewives be financially independent? Many have said that being a housewife is a full-time job. But the proceeds of that full-time job, many don't get it, they don't receive, they don't feel that they've been able to accomplish some kind of level of success as a housewife. So in your view, how can we better elevate, I would say, the role of the housewife? Or does that role even need to be elevated? You can call us on 090-241-63440. You can also tweet us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourVTVC so we can read your tweets. I think there's somewhere in my psyche that I've always wanted to be a housewife, and I think I got it from my own background. I guess maybe my mother was a working woman. My mother was a businesswoman. She was successful. She had money. She built a house and everything. And then my dad had another wife who was more like a house. She was always available. So as a child, in my head, I like the fact that, okay, my stepmother was always there. You know, every day she's there. And, you know, and my mom was always working, busy. But so in my brain, somewhere there just said, okay, I would like to be a housewife when I grow up. I like to be there, just be available for the kids. But in your view, do you think it's always the right choice? Because women are faced with that. Do I leave everything I've worked for and just stay at home with the kids? Because there's that phase a woman goes through in life where you feel that I can't be saying yes sir when my children need attention. You know, so do you how does a woman in that situation make success out of it?
So I think that being a full-time housewife, for those that have found a way to excel at it, and what I mean excel is that you have aligned your goals, you defined what I'm doing at home full-time, and you are achieving it. The reason many women decide to sit at home is because they want to raise responsible children. They want to have time for their family. They want to make their home a home. And if they succeed at it, they are already successful. And if they have a financially husband, if that's what their goal is, and their husband can meet the financial needs of the family and take care of them, then everything aligns. Then they have achieved well. I've seen people that I so admire them. They are full-time housewives, but I've seen how they've invested in their children, how they've raised fantastic children. Most of the people I'm talking about, their kids are teenagers. But I know that if you tell me this woman did not work, I can see what she worked on. I've seen the results. These children are turning out good. So if you define it by that, yes. But you must not define the success as financial, because if you define success as financial, very few housewives can meet up financially with a successful person outside the housewife.
But do you think a woman like that would inspire her kids? Because sometimes, yes, you invest in these children, and then they leave the house, and then you now feel lonely. You feel like it's just you and the world. Don't you feel like the world has left you?
Let me just quickly answer that. Like I said, you define the goals. My goal for now is to raise my children. By the time, and this particular person is already planning that by the time my children are in the university, I'm going to set up a business. You know, I'm going to thrive in another area, another goal. So the key is your ability as a housewife to set a goal for yourself as a woman and achieve it. If you achieve that, you achieve another thing. People start businesses at 40s, 50s and succeed. So there is no cap to when you can decide. It's how you live your life part time.
Okay, but what are your initial thoughts on?
So personally, I think being a housewife is a luxury most homes cannot afford.
I agree.
Because I'm weary of the fact that a lot of people want to just put pressure on the man to provide everything. Now, when I read my scriptures, I see the Proverbs 31 woman that everybody wants to be like. She wasn't a housewife. She was able to do businesses, several businesses, take care of her husband and all of that. But if you want to become a housewife and you say, okay, this is what I want to do. I want to sit home, take care of my children, and you know that your husband can single-handedly take care of your financial needs, including the fees, the clothes, everything that you need, then it's okay. Now you take care of it, because the truth is, doing that work alone in the home, it's hectic. If you've stayed at home with children, you know that you do not even get to rest. By the time your husband is closing and coming back home, that's when you are retiring from the work you've been doing from morning till night with children. So it's exhausting. It's a lot of work. But if your husband's financial strength can handle the home, then you can say, okay, let me sit back, take care of these kids. When they get to a certain age where I know I've done the work, then I can move on, like Tope said. But it's also stereotyped to think that children who are raised with their mother staying at home always turn out better than those ones that their mothers are working. It's a stereotype, and it doesn't work that way. We have our lives to show as examples. We came from different backgrounds. Some had their mothers, others don't have their mothers, and it doesn't determine how successful your children will be. So let's not make it seem like women who do not choose to stay in the home are probably neglecting their children. You can be a housewife and you neglect your children. I have housewives around me who are not doing anything. They don't even know when the undies of their children gets expired. They don't know, but they're home. Their children see them every day, but they do not pay attention to. So it's not about you deciding to stay at home. It's about you being in the moment with your children.
Which is why I define successful housewife.
I'm not arguing with you. Being in the moment with your children and understanding their needs. Now, let's also remember that different personalities matter. some of us, we are not sure as well, we they try, but we can't stay 24 hours with those children every day, day in, day out. Okay, it will wear you out.
Okay, so see, there are different kinds of housewives.
Yeah.
I have known a few. I mean, growing up, I knew one. This woman has not worked a day in her life.
Her husband can fund
But her husband was wealthy, and she didn't even do any work. This woman, just to pick that phone, she'll call somebody to go and pick it up for her because she had everything. Now, when the husband now found out, what this woman did that was really impressive was that she made her husband pay her salary.
You get money to pay now.
So he was paying house different, my own salary different.
He has the money.
And also because he always engaged her with his businesses. So she knew of the clients. She'll meet some of them. She doesn't know the inner workings of the business, but she has an idea what's happening when he's taking certain decisions. So when he even finally died, he actually handed everything over to her.
And she could manage it.
So she was able to get in people to manage it, but she had an idea what was going on. So she wasn't a total loss. So the point I'm trying to make is that
the husband was wealthy.
Yes, the husband was wealthy.
Yeah.
There's some women, so right now she feels successful because she has never worked a day in her life.
It doesn't matter.
And today she's in her 70s and she feels accomplished.
So it's about compartmentalizing. That was why I'm not disagreeing with you. We're on the same page. We're all trying to deliver solutions that each person watching can personalize to their life. So if you are a full-time housewife, it is not you need to first decide that, am I willing to take this route? Because at the end of the day, there are many things that we miss out on the way in our hustle. We miss important moments in the children's life. We don't have PTA is not as engaging as before. PTA used to be a forum where parents can influence what is going on in the kids' school. So, but when parents are busy with work, we hear, oh, my kid is learning this song in school. We were at the beach and we saw a child singing singing song, and I'm like, I know they taught them in school.
Because
and I was
involved.
Yes, but I was a bit. Even I wasn't totally okay with it until I read the lyrics and I found out, okay, it wasn't that bad. But before, parents would go to the children's school based on that because they had the time. But when I'm in Ibadan, when I'm in Kenya, I'll be able to go to children's school. So there are things that give way. So let's not assume that it's about just giving time. Another thing is we also need to realize that our society, we've seen the result of societies that did not pay attention to their children.
Yeah.
And we've seen how, yes, they might be technologically advanced, but they are very morally bankrupt.
Absolutely.
And the breakdown there, the psychological problems they are dealing with, is huge. Why we still have we might be very poor here, but we are able to,
our values are still here.
We have values, we have more emotionally balanced people than over there. Yes.
We'll take a ratio. We'll discuss that further after the break. But there's another angle to this.
I beg to
because there are women that have chosen that route of being a housewife and to date feel frustrated.
Yeah.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So we're still talking about how a housewife feels, especially after taking the decision to leave her work and stay home with the kids. Before we continue the conversation, I'm told we have a caller. Yakub, are you there? Good morning, Yakub. Are you there?
Yeah, good morning, Morayo. Good morning, Obi. And then,
I think we're having issues with the
We don't have him.
So,
yes, I wanted to respond by saying that, first of all,
hold on, I think.
Okay, is he here?
Yakub, are you there?
Yes, I'm there.
You're live.
Good morning.
Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much. Morayo, please permit me to say something before I say something about this very particular topic.
Okay.
There's something that you read when you were reviewing the paper that caught my attention about Yekini Nabena says that a governor in the Northwest, if I'm correct,
yes,
is behind all this bandit attack and all that.
Yes.
Although Obi has said something that is so germane to my mind, because you see, he can say that because in this country, anybody can just allege and then go scot-free. He was never punished for that. You see, people are dying, and then you are not playing with our intelligence.
Honestly.
Here. What kind of nonsense is that? You cannot mention that governor. So it's our society. I will say that. So this topic, Morayo, first and foremost, I want you to know this morning that women are so powerful. You people are so strong.
Thank you,
You know why? There are some people still working today as a woman. They manage to for their home.
Thank you.
Right. And then make sure that the home is also going well. But it is a very difficult job to do.
It is.
If you want to work and then make sure that your home is going smoothly, you have to have extraordinary power, extraordinary intelligence, extraordinary everything. So I would say that if we would find ourselves in a country whereby you can own your house and pay a mortgage, and then everything it is free, like a school is free, everything is free. That you don't need to struggle to own a house. You don't need to struggle to send your children to school. You don't need to struggle to even go to hospital. So a woman can decide that yes, I have free access to everything, social amenity. I can be able to come back and say that I want to become a full housewife. Thank you and God, good morning.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
there's a young girl, some girl that's married to a rich guy. Something Daniels or something.
Regina Daniels.
Yes. Something like that. Does she need to work? She doesn't need to work.
That's all right. We're all saying the same thing. Nobody needs to work. I wanted to say something. Parenting is deliberate. It's a journey that you decide to, this is how I want to be a parent. This is how I want to raise my children, whether you are working or not. You have to make the time. Have people who attend PTAs from their office. Once it's PTA day, they take permission from their office, and you see parents from different professions attending PTA. They are involved with their children. I attend, and I am working. So it's what you deliberately pay attention to. You don't leave it and say, okay, I can't leave my office. It depends on your choice. Now, let's understand that there are different types of parents. Not every woman or man who gives birth to children can actually parent. Not everyone. So if you find yourself in a position
that something must give,
let's not assume
nothing is given. Let's assume that we can multitask and everything.
You can't multitask. Mariah, you can't multitask. I have parents who were working. Both parents worked and they raised their children. And today, all of them were successful. How do you define that? Well, how do you define that? Now, I had those who claimed to stay at home, and today the parents are, they claim to stay at home, but yet we are not seeing their children successful today. So it's not about whether you stay at home or not. It's about the time that you give when you are there with your children. I also want to say that you see Oyibo people's problems because they are very vocal. They talk about their mental health issues. They go on shows, they tell you exactly how they feel. Here, we have more of those problems, but we hide it. We're hypocritical. So there are certain things you will not say on TV. There are certain things you will not say on the show, even when you're struggling with it. I'm a life coach, and I know the kind of things I hear. So if everybody brings their problem outside, we are the same with your Igbo people. We have the same mental health issues right here. A lot of people are crazy. We're just wearing clothes.
Okay, the point I was trying to make earlier, but I think I have to take this call. So hold it for a while. Good morning. Are you there?
Yes, I'm there.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
I want to join the program.
You're live. You're live on the program. Go ahead, please.
Okay, what I'm saying is that a successful housewife has to do with how.
I was going to see a lot of people project this on a lot of women that, women are multitaskers. Not all women are multitaskers. We all can't multitask because people always judge me, expect me to be good at this, good at that, good at because everybody else is good at all this. No, I can do one thing at a time. Yeah. That's the kind of woman I am. So let's not assume that every woman can generate. There's a woman that believe that, okay, you've done your work, but my focus on my children is suffering. And because of that suffering, I want to leave my work and focus because that's that woman. So let's not assume that, you can manage both. Not all women can
I think that we also need to realize that human beings, we must pursue something. Yeah. We must pursue goals. We must pursue a feeling of achievement. Yes. So even as a full-time housewife, you must set goals for yourself and set targets for yourself. You must ensure that, okay, in my parenting, as a mother, I want to keep on doing this. As a wife, I want to keep on doing this. As a human being. You see, even in business, human beings, you need to nurture the humanness in you. I need to ensure I am growing intellectually. Even if I'm a full-time housewife, doesn't mean that I must just watch reality TV shows. I can watch news. I can read books. I can decide that I'm doing some online course in between so that I can intellectually still stimulate my husband in conversations. So that when my husband becomes MD of a bank, he will look for a new wife that will be more appropriate.
Let me just say something. The first year I become a housewife, that day that maybe my husband has made me $100 million, and that first year I just watch a movie all day. I ain't doing jack. I'll be watching TV. I'll be eating. I am waiting for that day. Let me take this call. Good morning. Are you there?
We lost that.
What's going on? Go ahead.
May I also buttress Topper's point? You know, I've seen women who grew up, raised their kids and everything. Then the kids left the homes. moved on, got married, and then they became bored, they became frustrated, and they were asking, so I've wasted my life.
That is weird.
I've wasted my time.
Don't start that conversation, because that's what I wanted to talk about after the break.
Okay.
Because you've made that decision. You're a housewife today. Your children are grown.
And successful.
And they are now doing well. You've achieved that goal you talked about. And now it's just you and the world. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. Today we're talking about housewives, and we've discussed people taking that decision to become a housewife, why they do it, and how they can ensure they're successful. But now we're talking about a woman who has already done it. She's been a housewife all her life, and her children are now grown. And sometimes when it's just you and your spouse, he goes to work or he does other things, and you're just home, you don't feel like doing anything. You don't feel like reading. You don't feel like joining any group because you feel you're totally disconnected from information. All you know about is regular family talks, but you don't know anything about the corporate world. You're not clear on what's happening out there. So as a woman, you just retreat and stay in your own small circle. How can we advise that woman at this point whose kids are already grown and she's been a housewife all her life? How do we encourage her to make the best of this period?
Our brain is wonderful. There's a concept that everybody talks about that I think we don't say it enough. I still find people that don't know about growth mindset. And your ability to learn any skill at any age.
Background.
Our brain is wonderful. So the distance between you and anybody is the knowledge they have that you don't have and the exposure they have. So I think if anybody is in that space where you feel like my children are all gone, create a target for yourself to increase your knowledge and increase your exposure. And in 1 year, people would marvel at the change that can happen if you just apply yourself to knowledge development. So I think that most of the time people don't, if what you don't know will seem like it's humongous. I don't know what is inside this place. Everywhere is dark and you cannot identify it. When you switch on the lights in terms of defining what you want to achieve, you can. And thankfully, we do have groups, but when the biggest challenge I think anybody in that situation will have is isolating themselves because it will make you look like you're alone. There are many people in that situation and you can create a group and talk to one another and then each other, you now find a solution. You've said this over and over again that we must have a clique of people around you and nurture that support group and you nurture each other so that you're not, you won't feel out of place later. If all you people know is fashion, you realize that some people, they'll create an industry of fashion for themselves, fashion in their 50s, fashion in their 60s. But once we isolate ourselves, we can't think of a solution. And once we think, oh, woe me, I'm the only one at home, then you cannot find a solution. So we must have that, we must be on that self-development journey of growth.
Yeah, so the law of the universe states you either grow or you die. There's no vacuum. It's either you're growing or you're dying. So I would like to tell those people who are at home, they've raised their kids, and now they don't know what to do with themselves. Is first of all, start with the little steps. What I advise people when I coach is to make a list, a to-do list of, okay, I'm going to read a book today. If you don't like, some people don't like to read, and I've understood that, but you can listen to audio tapes. So you either do the audio or you do the visual reading, or you watch the video. So anything that's educating you, make a list of the ones that you want to achieve at this time. There are a lot of free courses on the internet, very free, different schools.
University of YouTube.
If you need us to give you referrals, we can give you referrals. Get into those courses. 2 weeks, 3 weeks, just start it gradually. Remember that you're not in competition with anybody. It's about you. It's about your growth. So don't look at Mrs. Labaja.
Bassi's been holding for a while. Bassi, are you still there from Calabar? I hope I didn't lose him. Bassi, are you still there?
Yes, I'm still here.
Oh, thanks for calling. Yeah, thanks for calling. You're live now. Go ahead, please.
Okay, yeah, I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Okay, and I'm really happy about the topic I saw today. I just had to, put little input. I think we need to mature when it comes to having to accept the idea of a successful housewife. And then I think a lot of people are insecure about the aspect that a successful wife would stray along the way. I think that's the reason why most men are really scared about it, especially if you really love your wife. You're really be scared about her going out there, and all that.
Okay.
But a housewife should be at home, and taking care of the kids. That's where we used to position women, But I think the world is changing now, and I think we need to mature.
Thank you very much for your view, Bassi.
But just spoke the insecurity of many men. Yeah. They are scared of their wives going out. I don't know why.
Because let's dig deeper into that, because there are men who actually took the decision to ask their wife to stop working. They said, stop working because I want you to stay home and take up the kids. So this is a woman that has maybe 2 master's degree and was working in a bank. And she had a career path. But he, because of marriage, he told her to stop.
Is it because of marriage or because he's scared that another man will look at her? We need to understand what.
Yeah, so you see, that's on that part. But regardless of what, but it's the man that asked you to stop. And you stop for him and the family. Right? You agree with the family, they're focusing on family. Now, fast forward 20 years. The man is now dissing you or making you feel inferior because you are not at his level. Now he's talking to Susie in the office because she's at his level.
The same 2 masters,
but another level. Yeah. So, a woman in that situation, how do we talk to her? What do we say to her?
See, I'll just say, funny enough, and I think that many people don't understand the power of having the right mindset, thinking the right thoughts, thinking positively and speaking positively by yourself. Many men gather and they have this conversation of, hey, if my wife now gets the job and then she's working in that, she's at the GM of the bank, or she becomes an ED, that means, people, they get a bit worried
of the success
of a woman. They feel like it puts you in the eye of everybody, and that the risk will be higher. It will push you. You will be able to control yourself. You might fall. Somebody might lure you with something that you cannot say no to.
You won't be humble again.
And you won't be humble again. You will not listen to them.
But life comes with challenges.
Yes. And men pride themselves in the ability to say, I told my wife to sit down, and she sat down. It makes them feel like a man. And they know if a woman is an ED, you cannot just tell
her to sit.
Is she a dog?
For what?
So because of that feeling of, she will not obey me. She will not obey me again. So we now tend to want to keep the woman in a way she can still.
So should we talk to the men this morning?
Yes, we're talking to all of them.
But let me take Ibrahim.
All right.
Ibrahim, are you there?
Yes, Ibrahim, I'm here.
You're live. Go ahead, please. You're live.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
So I'm very happy for this at least good topic that you brought in this morning. You see, this topic is very good. It's very good. Let me just compare the other lady in my right hand.
Okay.
In fact, she has spoken it all. She has said it all. You see, women, man, we have this ego within us. That is just the truth. So there's not a woman to feel like is so this and that. Me, I am a son of a woman. And I really appreciate my woman the way she brought us up. And then, I do. If a woman is doing anything, I want to really at least have this view to assist that way. But one thing you women should also put in place is this. Please, always know that, yes, you have someone back at home. If you have that respect, give all that respect. I'm telling you, no woman can come over that man, especially a person like me. And I say, no matter how you dress up, no matter the position you are, I will not look. I have something better at home. I will never look, no matter anything. Nothing can induce or entice me from you. So I appreciate a woman as a creature of God. And again, please, you people should also give us a maximum support, especially respect. Give us a highly respect into the high.
All right, thank you, Ibrahim.
I will tell you that yes, we will never let people down. We will continue to be with you to the end of the day.
Thank you
very much for giving me to hear my voice.
All right, thank you very much. We're going to go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk to the men, especially those men who are thinking, as Toko just said, my wife, you must stay home. That's your office. You're not going again. Going forward, you're not going to be a housewife. We're going to talk to you after the break. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
to stay with us. So there are men today who ask their wife to stop working for different reasons. Some is because they want them to focus on the children, maybe because they grew up with their mother always there and they see how they turned out and they feel that they want their kids to have that same attention. Others is like what Tokwa said earlier, that insecurity. But let's talk to the men this morning. Bisa, I'd like to start with you. What would you tell?
So, first of all, there was a particular day, my husband just looked at me and he said, if I have my way, you'll just be lying down on the bed. I will do all the hustle for you. I will come and just pose for me and just stay there. And I said, but you have your way. Why can't you say that? He said, I won't tell you that because I understand that you enjoy what you're doing and I want you to be happy. I love you enough to want to help build your dream. I can't stop you because you will not be happy with me. And that word struck me. So when you are married to somebody, it's very important that both of you look out for each other's happiness. Love makes you understand that this person needs to self-actualize and support that person. The kids will grow and live. It will be both of you. Do you want a wife who will be resentful in old age? That's why we hear that sometimes rat poisoning is going around and somebody just dies anyhow and you don't understand what is happening because a woman has, a woman feels that you've suppressed, she wasn't able to live, she wasn't able to do anything, and then she becomes resentful in old age. Trust me, I have some midlife, old aged people that I'm talking to right now, and I know what they are going through. Most of the time, the women say, he didn't let me do this. He didn't let me do that. Now I did not live. They feel like they've not lived. And they have lots of regrets. So sometimes it's not just about the kids. It's about your partner. What does your partner really want to do? Okay. You need to understand. It's like marrying someone like me or Tope and you say we should sit at home. That's not what we want to do. It wouldn't make us happy. We can't do it. That's you now. We can do it because we love you and we don't want to disobey you. But a few years down the line, if we're not able to achieve what we're achieving today, we will feel very terrible, like life has passed us. So love, understanding, and your ability to make your partner happy is what should be foremost.
I like the part of what you said, that your objective is to make your partner happy. So even though in your own psyche you feel that you grew up with your mother there 24/7, but that's not going to make your partner happy. So it shouldn't be something you suggest.
You force down her throat.
So I think that
know your partner.
If you're not happy, you cannot make another person happy. If you are not confident, you cannot give another person confidence. The reason some men would say this kind of things like, oh, sit at home, that it's out of their own insecurity with themselves. And many times when I go to speak at some events or the other, you'd see a crowd of women and very few men. So you see women acquiring knowledge, attending financial seminar, attending growth programs. They are doing all these things. They are developing themselves, and the men are just focusing on thinking it's just money. But what they're not understanding the impact of their lack of discipline in building themselves in other areas, its impact on their family. So I would start by saying men need to be more confident in themselves and men need to trust their ability to hold their woman. Trust that I am man enough to keep this woman. I am man enough that nobody can take her away from
confidence.
me. Yeah, so when you believe I'm man, like you're man enough, that no matter how much money you have, I am man enough to keep you and take care of you in every way. And I would man up when necessary.
And be man enough
to let that sink in first. You have to be man enough that I can keep, no matter how much money you have, be man enough to keep that woman.
If you trust yourself enough, you would release to go, because you know when you go, you will come back.
It will come back.
You will not see me anywhere.
Fly and come back.
How these life coaches in the house. We just get a serious meat.
And the glory will come to you at the end of the day. See the praises that were showered on who knew the Proverbs 31 woman? Who knew the husband? Did you know his name? No. But he was praised at the gates because of the work that the wife has been doing. Imagine if she had suppressed that woman. But would have gotten that praise.
Because me, I would like my husband to come and ask me, from today henceforth, I don't just stay home. Oh my goodness. They will do my nails. I'll have people come and massage my body.
Your kind of personality, you will last.
But you still find something else, some other ways to add value.
I've always
because that's your core.
I've always dreamt of where I just call somebody, the breakfast is
yes,
served.
what you don't want is pressure.
Yeah.
I don't want pressure.
Yes. You want the easy
And I think all of us don't want pressure.
We all just want to travel.
But because we're trying to talk to
breakfast
the men,
in London,
yes.
dinner in Japan. You know, just have, you know, just say, you know what, I want to be.
It's not even about the money, because some men are rich. Like they have serious money, but they're still scared that if their wife sees other men, she might leave. Or if their wife is exposed to other kind of life, it might go.
But you know that's horrible, because a woman who would cheat, if you don't allow her go outside, there's Megad now.
Hey,
what are you talking about? There's Megad. There's the cook there. There's the gardener there.
There's the driver.
There's driver. That's it. So it's not about tying that woman. A woman who wants to cheat will cheat.
You guys. Wait.
You should calm down.
Don't go that angle. Uju, are you there? Thanks for calling.
Hello, good morning.
You're live, Uju. Go ahead, please.
I'm calling from Port Harcourt, first time caller.
Welcome
to the show.
Yes, I'm calling for the first time.
Yes, we greeted you already. Go ahead.
Listen.
I like topic. Actually,
She's listening to the TV.
housewife right now. Since 2 years, I became a housewife. So can you hear me?
We can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay. Being a housewife is not an easy task. I agree with what Mr. Obo was saying, that it's not just being a housewife. But being a housewife does not guarantee you raising a good child. It involves a lot of things.
Yeah.
Because I've experienced it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Julie. Exactly. Thank you for reminding us, because I think that's one of the most vital points that has been raised here by BC this morning, that the fact that your housewife doesn't make you a better mother or better father. Because that's the mentality men use. Say, oh, I want you to focus on the children. But focusing on the children doesn't have, not so much about your ability to be a housewife. Because you can be a career woman and still be able to have time for the children. So it's about compartmentalizing and
setting goals,
organize yourself. But we have to wrap up very soon. But
let's take a few tweets.
Let's take a few tweets, please.
Please. Billy Kismafe says,
take like five each.
I don't think being a stay-home mom can adversely affect a child's mindset or lack of inspiration. This generation is different and are more informed, self-willed too, and driven. Besides, the mother staying home might be circumstantial rather than a choice. Then she also said, I have listened to John De Martini, and he said something profound. It's not everyone's purpose. He said not everyone's purpose is career, business, etc. For some, raising children to achieve feats could be their goal, and they will be fulfilled just being that, a mother of these children.
Ogumola says, can't imagine how me and my siblings would have turned out if my mom had been a full-time housewife. Dad was a hoodlum, but thank God he's found now. Candid advice to all women out there, don't be stranded. It's not a funny feeling to be helpless. Toby Martin says, most men are the cause of most issues of a woman being a full-time housewife because of insecurities. In the other way around, most women get intoxicated when exposed to wealth and power. It's just God and ability to strike a balance. Ayinka says the term housewife died in the 1980s. They are known as homemakers, and that's a full-time job on its own. They can choose to find other interests once the kids are grown. Maybe Mariah is a homemaker. Bilikis Mafe says, okay, I'm with you on this. That's me. Mindful parenting, because you can be there and be totally out of tune. Terrible things could still happen under your care if you're a neglectful mother. But for the most part, being home, even if it's your own business, allows you to monitor children.
Let me take this call from Charles. Okay. Charles has been holding for a while. Charles, are you there? Charles, are you there?
Good morning.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Yes, I'm here. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you. Anyway, I'm the first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Okay, thank you. So, concerning this view, housewife and all that, me, I'm not married, but I'm not trained to have a housewife. And there's this mentality that we have in Africa, a woman is not a slave. A woman has her own right. And she needs to actually pursue her dream. For me, I don't want to marry a housewife. I want a career woman. So we can work a way out that we can share our responsibilities at home. I want to go out. I want my wife to go out. You see, when you marry a housewife, as a husband, if you have problems financially, believe you me, your home will crumble, and there'll be chaos in the house. But if you're working and your wife is working, it won't have problem. And that one will supplement and cover up, and kids will not suffer. And people will not even know what you're going through in the house. For me, I want to see my wife on the front page, on the screen. I want my wife to influence people. I want my wife to be out there. I can do the background job behind it. I will make her to do what she wants to do. Whatever I say, you guys are talking on short record. Please help me to have a woman like you.
Thank you very much.
Before we want to talk about the parents that sacrifice to raise sports champions or raise musical geniuses, it takes sacrifice. You look at the Serena Williams family. Look at this guy, the golfer,
Tiger
Woods.
Burna Boy.
The mother or father sacrificed their career to say, I want to raise this child into being Beyonce. I want this child to be #1. I'm going to do all it takes. I'll take him for football practice in the afternoon. How would you do that if you're a career woman? That's an accomplishment. Yes, and sometimes we must. There's another thing I would tell women that do those things, parents that do those things. You must learn to let go, because when we now raise these children that are successful, we feel like this is our prize, and we now want to hold on to them. When you finish raising those successful children, release them and pick up another project and do, because if you can achieve that, you'll achieve something else. But not working in a corporate world and raising your children into whether they are musical genius or corporate genius or become spiritual leaders in religion, whatever, you have done a good job already.
Final words, BC.
I think we need to understand our personalities, we need to understand our situations, our circumstances, and work with what works best for us. So if your husband is financially stable, can handle every of the financial aspects, and you decide to take your time to raise your kids, that's fine. But also, while you're doing that, do not forget that the kids will grow and leave. You need to make plans for what you are to do next after they have gone. So let's stick with what works for us.
I think for me, I am very ambitious. I do work. I like to work. I enjoy what I do. But I guess because of how I was raised, because of the circumstances where I was as a child, I mean, my mother was so busy. She was always carrying, traveling to India. She's going to work, looking for textiles. So I guess I lost that part. That was that part of my childhood where I didn't have her, and I felt that, okay, my half-sisters have their mother. So maybe that's where somewhere in my brain, I feel like, okay, I still feel that need to, maybe I should have that. Maybe,
aren't you successful today?
I am just telling you that.
Aren't you happy today?
I'm driving somewhere.
No, don't
I'm saying
drive
that it doesn't mean that, but it doesn't mean that I still can't accomplish things. It doesn't mean I still can't be ambitious. It doesn't mean I can't have other goals aside from family. So yes, I mean, I wanted to just because viewers are saying, oh, Maria wants to become a housewife. Yes, I do. I would like that opportunity. But I think that even when I finally become the housewife, I might get a bit frustrated at some point.
I know you.
So I might get, because it's just something to fulfill that part of my brain, and then that craving, and then I'll be all right. But thank you very much, ladies. I like when you guys come on.
Thank you. We
life
like
coaches.
You too.
You'll just be getting correct meat. It's gonna. We'll see you. Today's Friday.
Today's Friday.
Yeah. So we'll see you
Happy
Monday.
weekend.
All right. Bye.